This video will show you how to replace the front inside fender liner on a Ford Edge. This will be located inside of your front wheel well. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we have to do is safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. Once you've completed that, we're going to remove our center cover. For this, I'm just using a small pry bar. I'm finding the groove in the rim, and I should be able to make my way in and gently pry. Once you have that removed, go ahead and set it aside and we'll start removing our lug nuts. We're using a 19mm for each of these lug nuts so we can remove the wheel. Now that we have the wheel out of the way, we need to start dislodging our inside fender liner. We're going to start along the front and we'll make our way up and along. Now from under the front corner of the fender liner and bumper cover, you're going to find that there's two 5.5mm mounting bolts holding the bumper cover to the fender liner. Now we can make our way towards the outboard side. Let's make our way up. We have a couple more 5.5mm bolts here. Now we're switching to some push clips. We're going to find that we have a push clip down in this area. Now that we have that one out of place, we do have a couple more making our way up along the front area. Now one of ours is missing, but we'll just continue on with the removal process of what we do have intact. Now on this side, we do have more push clips and more 5.5mm mounting bolts. There is one push clip down along the bottom rearward side. I'm going to remove that first. Since I still have my tool for push clips, I'm just going to remove all others, making my way towards the center, but I'm leaving the center in place. Let's make our way to our 5.5mm mounting bolts along the lower corner. Now at this point, we should be able to move this around. Sometimes you can completely dislodge it, otherwise you can just push it aside. We'll continue on with the removal of this, making our way up here. Time for our final push clip. Now that we have our fender liner out of position, the next thing we need to do is look at the original fender liner. Making your way along what would be considered the rearward side, you remember that we had removed 5.5mm mounting bolts. We need to reuse these metal clips. You can use a small screwdriver or angled pick. Make your way underneath, gently pry. We don't want to cause any damage. We just need to remove each and every one of these clips. Of course, once you have it disconnected, a quick inspection, make sure it is reusable. Repeat the process for all others. We also need to make sure we remove the clips from the forward side as well. So we'll just use our small pocket screwdriver or pick. You know what to do, just go ahead and pry them right out of place. Prior to installing our brand new part, let's just make sure we clean and inspect all mounting areas. Let's get this fender liner in place. As I bring this into the wheel well, I'm starting with the center upper push clip. We need to align it and we'll press it in. Now, as far as this push clip, I need to make sure I have it in the unlocked position. We're coming through our port and we're going to align that with its mounting port on the body of the vehicle. Before we go too much further with the installation of our fender liner, as you remember during the removal process, we had removed some metal clips from the fender liner. Those went along the rearward side. So of course we're going to reinstall those. Now I do have some brand new metal clips. It's the same thing though. Essentially line them up with the fender liner. You may need to spread it, but eventually you just want to press it in and make sure it's aligned with the mounting bolt port. Now once you have one in place, continue on to doing the same to all others. After you've installed all those metal clips, we need to make sure that the fender liner is tucked in and behind the fender, from the rearward side to the center and all the way along the front. We're coming behind here and we can start reinstalling our mounting bolts. We have one that goes right here. We can start that in. For good measure, let's just go ahead and press that towards the fender. We're going to snug it up. Let's make our way down. Now as we move down here to this plastic piece, typically there would be a small locking tab on the plastic piece that presses into the body of the vehicle. Clearly the body of the vehicle that we're working on isn't in the best condition, so let's just continue on. This would come in from the driver's side and I'm pressing it inboard. Now once I have that in place, it's time for our mounting bolts. These will lead into our metal clips that we installed. Go ahead and line up each one of those two. Once they're both started in, go ahead and snug those up as well. Now it's time for some plastic push clips. Let's make sure we align our fender liner. We have our push clips in the unlocked position as we start them into the proper positioning. Press those in towards the body of the vehicle, lock them in with the center, of course. Now let's make our way down along the lower aspect of this fender liner. You know what to do, just go ahead and line it up, install your push clip. Double check, make sure it's secured in place while we're under here. Now along the front of the fender liner, before we go too much further here, let's make sure that we reinstall our metal clips along the bottom area. Line them up, press them in. Now along the front area of the fender liner, let's start getting this installed. We have several push clips and some 5.5mm mounting bolts. We'll make any adjustments as necessary for each one of our plastic push clips. Line them up, press them in. We have our next push pin port. Line it up, press it in. Let's get this in position here. Now as we make our way down, you may find that you need to make an adjustment here. We'll flex things as necessary. Let's tighten these 3 bolts prior to making our way under the front bumper cover. Now down under the front corner, we have our 2 5.5mm mounting bolts. With the wheel back on the ground, we'll be torquing these in a crisscross manner to that 100 foot-pounds. When we install the center cover, we want to make sure that we have the ports for each one of our lug nuts aligned properly. Tap it into position. Double check and confirm it's properly secured.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.